Angry guy here, and wow, do I have an interesting story for you. So, a third of women only date men for free food, study finds, and this is Millennial news. Wow. So, this study was just revealed today by major publications like the New York Post as well as the Telegraph. And the findings have probably even larger implications on the future of dating. I cannot say that I'm extremely surprised by these findings, but at the same time, I think a lot of guys, a lot of people need to be aware that this is actually what's happening in society today, and that a lot of dates are happening not because people are platonically interested in each other, but rather because, free food is involved. So here we go. This came out, this article is from June 21st, 2019, and wowzers, a third of women only date men because of the free food study finds, okay? So, and the numbers are disproportionately millennial women, but let's go ahead and jump in. The results are in. She only wanted to try that hot new restaurant. This article is from Susie Wise, just so you know, it's actually from a woman. A new study published Friday in the Society for Personality and Social Psychology found that a quarter to a third of heterosexual women have gone on a date with a guy they weren't interested in just for a free meal. Foodie calls can happen when money's tight, the grocery store is out of a favorite frozen meal, or a must-try entree is just too extravagant to justify when the tab comes out of your own bank account. Two studies, guys, not one, two studies. The first conducted with 820 women and the second with 327. Asked participants if they ever engaged in a plate for play. 23% of women copped to it in the first study, 33% in the second. Wow. The researchers Brian Collison, Jennifer Howell, and Trista Harrig of Azusa Pacific University and UC Merced also noted that the women who felt dating for food was socially acceptable were more likely to exhibit the dark triad of personality traits that psychopath, Machiavellian, and narcissism. That psychopathy, Machiavellianism, and narcissism for those without a PhD in psych. So the study found that women who felt dating for food was socially acceptable were more likely to exhibit the dark triad of personality traits, which are psychopathy, Machiavellianism, and narcissism. Guys, that puts 1/3 of women who go on dates having these traits at the very least. You do realize that, right? 1/3. And with climbing rents and ever-expanding list of restos to try, New York might well be teeming with foodie calls. One East Villager, Olivia Ballingser, was treated to a 5-course meal at the C&B Scene seafood joint Catch in the Meatpacking District. Ballingser told the Post 2 years ago, "If I had been forced to pay, I probably wouldn't have been able to eat for weeks afterwards." Oh my gosh. Here's another one for you guys. All right. This is another article. This is published by Sarah Napton, also published on June 21st. All right. I am literally surprised by this, but I guess I shouldn't be. Rise of the foodie call. Up to 1/3 of women date to get a free meal. All right. Up to a third of women say they have dated a man simply to enjoy a free meal, a phenomenon known as a foodie call. Unlike the booty call, in which singletons date only for sex, researchers at Azusa Pacific University in the U.S. found a surprisingly large number of women are not interested in a relationship, but just want dinner. just want dinner. In their first study, 820 women were recruited who measured on their personality traits, and traits, beliefs, and gender roles, and their foodie call history. They were also asked if they thought a foodie call was socially acceptable, and just under 1/4 of women said they had engaged in a foodie call. All right? With most saying they did so occasionally or rarely. Guys, this is really, really surprising statistics. Here's another article for you guys. Of course, ironically, this article was published 2 years ago, but now a recent study has actually brought it to light. Beware of foodie call. Dates who are just in it for a free meal. This was published by Christian Goladian 2 years ago, guys. August 30th, 2017. Almost 2 years ago to be exact, on the dot. And now, 2 years later, you've got the New York Post and the Telegram showing two different studies that confirm that about 1/3 of women are only going on dates for the free food. There's an interesting article right here that I found. All right. And I found this one really interesting. It said, "How I Found Out She Was Only Using Me for Free Dinners and Drinks." This is by Giorgio Selvaggio. Okay. If you're a man who's tried or considered trying online dating, chances are you've worried you might meet a woman looking to use you for a free expensive dinner. It seems trivial in comparison to what women have to worry about when they're filtered through men on a dating site, but it's still a concern, and it still happens to the best of us. I'm a high school teacher and a freelance writer, but I'm also the son of Michelin award. I'm also the son of a Michelin awarded restaurateur. My online dating profile doesn't mention my dad's accomplishments, but in my moments of insecurity, I have been known to name drop in order to keep the women interested. It's never gone well, and it's never attracted the right women. The women who see me as Giorgio the teacher or Giorgio the writer have never tried to use me for a free dinner. In fact, many of them seem to feel guilty when I took them to expensive restaurants too early in the dating process. But the women who saw me as Giorgio the restaurateur's son had no such reservations, and even that was fine as long as we were having fun. Last December, I met someone who finally crossed the boundaries. She made the initial move by liking my profile, so I liked hers back. Her profile was laced with razor sharp wit, and I look for in a romantic partner, and one of her stated life goals was to try all 101 of Jonathan Gold's top restaurant picks. Without promising anything, I noted that I too was a fan of Mr. Gold and was also hoping to one day frequent all 101 of his restaurant choices. Okay, cool. We had the same dry humor and equally excited about the then new Star Wars movie. So I thought those would be our primary points of connection, right? It wasn't until I asked her out for a drink that I suspected something was off. I'm not huge into drinking, but maybe we can grab dinner sometime, she replied, followed by a smiley face emoticon. Nobody has to be huge into drinking to join you for a cocktail on a first date. This was a push that men who've dated in Los Angeles know all too well. The woman was setting the expectations high from the beginning, letting me know that her evenings were in high demand and that if I wanted one, I was going to have to cough up more than $15 for a cocktail. I told her my Tuesday night was open and she wrote back, I'm booked for Tuesday? Let's do Saturday instead. What the heck? I was starting to find her pushy, but I thought maybe it was just in my head. She was booked for another date. That's what she meant. I was lucky this girl wanted to offer a Saturday night to me. Wasn't I? Oh my gosh. I suggested we try a new Italian restaurant in Silver Lake where an old friend of mine works. I wasn't looking for a free dinner, but I was hoping to surprise him. I was hoping that once the girl saw my restaurant connection, she'd be impressed enough to take me seriously as a romantic partner. The stakes were high for a first date. I felt like I was being pressured to overplay my hand, but I wanted to try this restaurant anyway. And going there with a pretty girl felt better than going there alone. Okay. When we sat down for dinner, she suggested we order a bottle of wine. So much for not huge into drinking. Okay, yeah. So she's not huge into drinking, but as soon as they sit down, she suggests they order a bottle of wine. Yeah. Yeah. Then she started suggesting items to share, which slowly crept into the $80 range. I declined on the bottle of wine, but was too tempted by the various entrees to let her starve. We ordered 4 dishes, and I didn't have to fight her for the privilege of paying the whole $130 check myself. Our conversations were mostly superficial. I found myself retelling her key information that I'd mentioned in my profile as though she'd never read it. She kept talking up her past accomplishments and future ambitions, even though for the time being she was living with her parents. Oh my gosh, this is painful. She kept mentioning that she had high standards when it comes to Italian restaurants, and eventually I reached a point where it seemed appropriate to name drop my father. She had never heard of him, nor had she heard of his restaurant. Oh, is that so? When the waiter brought us our check, he gave us a spiel about how their establishment is unique because customers have the privilege of being allowed to tip the kitchen as well as the server. I actually like that. I really do like that. I asked my date, how much should I tip? That's always a bad sign when you're so desperate to impress your date that you have to ask her how much to tip, even though she has no intention of even attempting to pay. She told me tip 20%, so I did. Okay, so the bill came to $130 and you tip 20% of that. So that sounds something around $26. So your entire meal cost $156 when you included the tip in there. Way to go, bro. Way to go. All right. As we left, she told me without hesitation that she would love to see me again. I love the reassurance. I hate spending the next few days after a date staring at my phone, waiting for a follow-up text message that never comes. I hugged her goodbye and watched her step into an Uber, hoping it would all lead to something as we got to know each other better. 2 days later, I received a text from her excitedly informing me that she had made a reservation at my dad's restaurant. She was going there on Saturday night, company unspecified. Could it be that another poor sucker had been roped into sating this girl's fine dining craze? No. Why would she tell me? Why would she text me to tell me all about it? That would be shameless. Even so, it made me uncomfortable. This girl hardly knew me. We had been out one time and we hadn't even kissed yet. Imagine if a man had gone to a woman's father's workplace after a first date. That would be creepy, right? What was the difference? She was testing me to see how I'd react. I told her, wow, you're going to meet my dad. Weird. Oh yeah, I guess I am. Well, I'll put in a good word for you. Her creepiness had officially killed any charm she'd once had with me. I didn't pursue her after that, but about a week later, she contacted me again. She told me that the person who was taking her to my dad's restaurant had flaked on her and suggested as though it was not a big deal that we go there together instead. This was too weird for me. I took a screenshot of the text, sent it to my best friend, and asked what should I do. I say bail, he advised. I composed our parting text. I'm going to have to say no. To be honest, it makes me really uncomfortable that you would make a reservation at my dad's restaurant when we've only been out one time. I think you're a great girl, though, and I wish you the best. She probably came back at me with 3 consecutive texts. I'm sorry I didn't mean to make you feel uncomfortable. I really don't take this stuff too seriously. Good luck to you. I also had many questions for her, like why she expected expensive dinners and bottles of wines if she didn't take it seriously. But I thought asking would be in poor taste. So instead, I just wished her good luck too. And in the end, I didn't even get to do that because my number had already been blocked. Oh my gosh. What am I reading? Some men frustrated after not getting a second date or not even any action on the first will wrongly accuse women of just dating for free meals. I'm not that man. If a woman doesn't want a second date, it's not my business why, and I don't know her well enough to hurl those kind of accusations. I also don't really mind if women are out there using men for free meals, because there are plenty of men out there using women for other things. And in the end, our job is to learn from our experiences and spot the red flags so we aren't the ones getting used. Ay, ay, ay. So guys, I wanted to share that with you. I wanted you guys to just see what was actually like. I was shocked when I saw that, but I mean, hey, I had heard stories like this, like things like this were happening on Tinder, but yeah, it's one when you discover that 1/3 of women are actually doing this, 1/3 of women are just going on dates for the free food. You do have to start to take quite a bit of awareness to this. AP says $156, and he didn't even do anything. No. Ben says, ha ha ha, are we evolving or degenerating? I think the latter. Oh gosh. Ninja says, I don't date, although I go on dating apps like Match.com or Zooch just to screw around. But yeah, okay. Mike says, the way it is nowadays, there's a certain percentage of ladies you don't. Okay. Well, so guys, I mean, there we are. Millennial women are dating for free food. Does this surprise you that this is happening right now? And what are your thoughts on this? Do you think that as the recession or global financial crisis increases, we're going to actually see an increase in the number of women doing this, possibly going literally from 1/3 to maybe half, or even to maybe even half of all women, or even 2/3 of all women, or even 3/4 of all women? What do you think about that? And don't forget, guys, we have a flash sale on all courses on cryptomoney.academy right now. Of course, the sale is going, you have 1 hour and 25 minutes left if you want to take advantage of it. All courses are $129.99. You can pick up a course. You can pick up the latest, the strategy you must use to become a crypto millionaire. You're on cryptomoney.academy. And that course goes for $159.99. You get it for $129. You can also get converting cryptocurrencies without using an exchange, how to turn your cryptocurrency into cash quickly, how to time the crypto market and make massive profit, how to take profit from cryptocurrency and not lose your entire investment, how to get tons of valuable cryptocurrency for free without mining or paying for it, mastering the Ethereum wallet and blockchain, how to choose and invest in altcoins that will increase by 10 times to 1,000 times or more, how to buy Bitcoins anonymously and through secret methods, introduction to day trading cryptocurrency for a living, and then we also have cryptocurrency 101. And that course basically is going to teach you everything you need to know about cryptocurrency if you don't have a basis in it, if you're just getting started. So yeah, you guys have just under an hour and a half to go and pick up a course if you would like to at that flash sale price. Guys, let me know if you're surprised by what's happening. Links are in the description of the video. Let me know if you're surprised that more women that 1/3 of women who are dating are actually doing this and just going on dates for free meals. Let me know how you think men will potentially respond in the future knowing that this is happening. Let me know if this has ever happened to you and what your response has been, how you've handled it. Oh gosh, you guys are funny. Well, anyway, guys, love God, get money. We'll talk more in the chat and cheers. We'll talk more in the comments and cheers.